Welcome to the Piriformis Release. Now in this release, you have the option to use either your 4-inch therapy ball, or if you wish to use your tennis size ball. Now with that to say, the tennis size ball can be a little intense for some people, so I do recommend starting off with the 4-inch therapy ball first. Then if you feel in your body that you can use a little extra firmness in the therapy tool that you're using, then go ahead and give the tennis ball a try. However, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be showing you on the actual therapy ball, but I just want you to know that utilizing your tennis size ball is an option for you. So with that to say, I'm going to put this one to the side. And before we actually begin this particular technique, let's take a moment to locate where our piriformis is, or at least the region of fascial tissue around it. So take your therapy ball off to the side and have a seat with your legs extended out in front of you. And I'm going to have you take your hands underneath your glutes and then slide them just off to the sides and go more towards the center of your glutes if you can. So you're off of your sits bones, but you're on your actual glutes. Now flexing your feet with your toes up to the ceiling, go ahead and windshield wipe your feet, but make sure the movement's coming from your hips. So your hips are rotating open and your feet open as a result, then close your hips and your feet close as a result. So do that a few times until you feel that part in your glutes, and you might need to move your hands around to really feel the region that is contracting as you open and releasing as you close. That is your piriformis, or the general region where your piriformis is. So let's go ahead from there. Take your therapy ball under the first hip that you want to focus on, and take a moment and just roll around until you feel that spot that you located when we did the windshield wiping movement with your foot. Now feel free to take a seat once you've found that spot, and then just windshield wipe your knee for a moment just to make sure this is the area that you want to focus on. And once you found it, it's going to be time to relax into the release. So I'm going to set the timer, and as we're doing this particular technique, I do want to go over a couple pointers with you. First of all, if you're starting off like this with your fingertips facing your glutes, this can be a very intense angle for your wrists. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to instead either turn your hands, or not turn your hands, but turn your fingers away from your glutes so you can increase the angle and make it a little bit broader in your wrist so it doesn't pose any painful pressure on your wrists. That's option one. Option two is if you wish to recline back on your elbows. That's an option for you too. In either one of those options though, make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. You don't want to hike up like this, because then you're going to create some shoulder neck issues. Same thing when you're up here. Don't go like this, because you're going to create shoulder and neck issues. So shoulders down. Now for your legs, you can keep both knees bent like I'm doing here. You can extend the non-working leg. You can extend both. You can extend the leg you're focusing on and bend your other knee. Feel free to play with the position that feels most supportive for you during this release. And while we're here, you are welcome to continue incorporating that windshield-like movement, but keep the ball in place as you're doing this release. This is just going to give a little extra nudge for this tissue to let go. Otherwise, you could stay perfectly still and just let your own body weight sinking into the therapy ball do its thing. Whatever feels right to you in this moment, go for it and go with it. What you may find over time is this area feeling tighter on one side compared to the other. So when we go to the second side in a few minutes, you'll have that opportunity to determine which side feels tighter. And you may have already gotten a feel for it when we were doing the windshield wiping movement. Yet, it may come as a surprise to you when you actually place the ball underneath this area, which side is actually carrying more tension. So that remains to be seen. But in the meantime, just imagine the tissue in this region softening and sinking. Let it sink into the therapy ball. Once again, gauging if you want to graduate up to the more tennis-sized ball, the smaller ball, the firmer one. And if at any point you start to feel any numbness or tingling going down your leg, I suggest easing up on the pressure you're using. If you're using the tennis ball and you find that that's happening, but it's not happening with the therapy ball, use the therapy ball instead. And either ease up or move spots altogether. We ideally don't necessarily want or need that numbness going down your leg. So just pay attention to that. Slowly breathing in, softly breathing out. Allowing your tissue to sink, to melt, to release and to let go. Make sure if your arms are extended behind you, you're not hyperextending your elbows. Make sure there's a small bend in your elbows if you find that that's happening. Feel free to adjust your body as needed, making sure to keep the ball in the same place as long as it's feeling like it's giving you that release that you're desiring. That was 5 minutes. So from here, let's take a moment and slowly come off of the ball and just rock from side to side on your sits bones. And let's go to the other side. So take a moment, roll around on the ball until you feel that sweet spot that you want to start with. And once you've sat down, windshield wipe your knee. Make sure that is the region, indeed, the region that you want to focus on and that we're aiming to focus on here. And settle on in. Choosing your arm position. Once again, you can have your arms extended, hands on the floor, fingertips away from you, shoulders down away from your ears. Or if you want to recline back onto your forearms, this is also an option for you. Shoulders away from your ears once again. And feel free to keep both knees bent. Extend one leg, extend both. Play. Playful curiosity. Decide what your body is asking for at this time. And that can change on any given moment, just a reminder to you. As always, you're welcome to keep your eyes open at a soft gaze. Feel free to close them if you wish. It's all about you tuning into your body. Tuning into what it's asking for. If anything, let this course help deepen the relationship you have with your body. Slowly breathing in, softly breathing out. Feel free to incorporate that windshield wipe with your knee. Allowing your tissue to sink in, to melt, to release, to let go. You're doing great. Allowing your body weight to sink into the therapy ball. And just trusting that the weight of your body sinking into the ball is helping to facilitate the release. There's nothing you really have to do in order to allow the release to occur. Just allow yourself to feel, let your body weight sink in, and go from there. Slowly breathing in, softly breathing out. Let your breath enhance the release from the inside out as you work with the therapy ball to help the release occur from the outside in. They both can work in tandem together. So if you feel like you've butted up against a challenging sensation, feel free to incorporate your breath to help soften the release from the inside out as your body's releasing from the outside in. And that was 5 minutes. So let's slowly come off the ball and just gently rock from side to side. And let's take a moment and check in with the rotation of our hips to see if anything has shifted. So, toes up to the ceiling, opening and closing. Notice if you can feel an increase in the open and close. Notice if you feel like, the right side wants a little more attention. Go back to that side and give it more attention if you need it. And shake it up. I hope you enjoyed this Piriformis release. In the next video, we're going to work on a simple stretch to help the piriformis open up through the use of our own body. I'll see you there.